And so a lot of people will say to me, can you tell me a little bit about your journey? How did you even find out that your daughter had this rare disease? And I often, when I talk about my journey, it's a little different, I guess, because we didn't know what was wrong with her. And all I can say is that I felt I had a normal birth. I left the hospital home with my beautiful baby, thought everything was perfect. I did what they called kangarooing, and that's when you hold your child, with you instead of giving the baby back to the nurses to take care of in the night in the hospital. So when I got home, I thought everything was fine, and the next day, I woke up with chills and a fever, and I had to go back to the hospital. And when we got back to the hospital, I was quite frightened and nervous that Jillian was going to get sick. So I asked my husband to please take a walk with her, take her out of the ED. I was afraid she was going to get sick. And he did. And so when he took a walk with her, he didn't know where to go. So he went back up to the mother infant unit. And he was standing outside the elevators, and out came a nurse that actually cared for us the night before and recognized him and said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he said, "Oh, I'm here with my wife. She's got an issue." And she said to him, "Oh, look at you. How you doing? You look so wonderful, like a big proud daddy." And he said, "Yes, actually everything's going great, but every time we kiss her, she feels cold." So the nurse said, "Do you want me to take her temperature?" And by that time, I had already been escorted upstairs into the mother infant unit because I shouldn't have been in the ED because it had only been 24 hours or not even 24 hours. So while they were taking care of me, they were taking Jillian's temperature. And when they went to go take her temperature, they thought the machine was broken. So they took the machine away and came back in with another thermometer, took her temperature, and realized it was extremely low. It was so low that basically we learned she would have passed within 3 hours had we not taken her. So they literally took that temperature, walked out of the room with Jillian saying, "We're going to go show Jillian to the girls." And my husband followed the nurse out, and that's when everything happened. Basically, they coded her, and we went down into the ED, and we spent a month in the hospital. And we started what they called the $1 million workup. They did everything they possibly could do for her, tried to figure out what was wrong, and could find nothing. So we went home again with a baby that we thought may have been just a little premature. And as Jillian started to progress, she started to have those episodes I described as an ocular gyrate crisis. And one day she was in one of the crises, and I called Children's Hospital and just asked the question, saying that I thought my daughter was having a seizure, explained what it looked like. And they basically said, "You need to get her into the hospital now. Call 911 and get her in here." So instead of calling 911, I called my husband, and we both took her in. And by chance, the doctor that was on call that weekend actually diagnosed the first case in our country 2 months prior. And so that's when our journey began. So we wound up getting our diagnosis with AADC. And life definitely changed, I'll tell you that. So other people say to me, what else would you have done? And what could you do about AADC? How did you cope? And so one of the ways we coped is we started a foundation. And the foundation was started over 20 years ago, and our goal was to find a cure. And although there is no cure for the disease, we see the promise right now of gene therapy in the horizon. So our nonprofit organization, AADC Family Network, provides hope to all families suffering with this disease. Our goal is to promote awareness, provide advocacy, and assist families with navigating the illness, help with options available for care, assist with funding for therapeutic interventions that is not covered by health insurance. Our primary but not exclusive goal is to enable AADC children to live at home, out of the hospital setting, as well as have access to any and all treatments available for the disease, including gene therapy. So my thought as a community, if we could all come together, do it together, maybe donate to the cause, it'll go a long way to help a child who's suffering. And if you want to learn more about this disease, you can go to aadcfamilynetwork.org. And I say together we'll do great things. And my daughter's saying is very, it stands in my forefront, and I say it at the ending all the time, is one day I will walk, one day I will talk. Today I can smile. So thank you.